Hello everyone, welcome to Deep Dive on Herald Global. I am Saimik Sen. On the occasion of International Day of Innocent Children Victims of Aggression, joining us today, Dr. Girish Kulkarni, founder of Snehalaya, is dedicated to rescuing children from red light areas, ensuring they have a safe and nurturing childhood through his visionary leadership and impactful social work. So, first of all, Mr. Kulkarni, thank you so much for taking out this time for us. Welcome to Herald Global.
Thank you so much, and thanks for inviting me here.
Okay, so let me begin by asking you, what role does education play in preventing children from victimization?
So, education is a very important tool to protect the kids from different kind of exploitation. Uh, like we are working with HIV, born HIV/AIDS positive kids and child prostitutes or the child brides. We rescued them, and when we bring them in the process of education, first of all, they get confidence. Secondly, they realize what are their rights given by the Constitution of India. Third thing is they are socialized and they know if the victimization is there, where to approach. And they know the means and ways to live a purposeful life. They can fix a goal of their life. And once the children have some goal in their life, then they try to prevent themselves from exploitation and any kind of harassment. And education, of course, open the door of knowledge and opportunities. So I think education is the most important aspect to protect these kids from any kind of exploitation. Also, they get socialized, and I think they know they understand how to seek the help from the different kind of institutions created for their protection. So I think overall education is the uh, impactful thing for protection of children.
Okay, since you're mentioning about this, can you throw some light on the current scenario? How bad it is in terms of the situation?
Yes, if you, because I'm a field worker basically, and I have started Snehalaya 35 years back, and we have a lot of programs to protect the children from different kind of exploitations. So the present situation is very bad. It is worsened day by day, and there are so many reasons of it. Like in my region, there are 30% children child marriages. I'm from Maharashtra, India, and my Ahmednagar district is connected with the Marathwada region, which is economically, socially backward region of Maharashtra. And here you will find more than 30% child marriages in rural areas. And there are agencies, there are laws, but they are not functioning properly. And there is no pressure of civil society on the execution of the good laws government has already passed. So there are child marriages, there is a human trafficking, because our region, more than 8 lakhs people every year, they migrate with the family for sugar cane cutting to different sugar factories in all over the India. So they migrate from month of October, and they work there because in their villages they don't have water to survive. So they take only one crop, and then after they have to migrate because there is no drinking water and there are no facilities. So this temporary migration is there in our region. Then one of the most important factor is, even today there is a caste system in India, and some nomadic tribe castes were trusted this prostitution. Then they have to play in a dancing bars. So dance bars, no, or rural dance bars, we call it tamasha in Maharashtra. And then after formal programs, no, they are forced to do the prostitution. So it's a way to prostitution. Then there are challenges that the government machinery and the NGOs have their own limitations. So there is a lot of trafficking from that particular communities. And there is another again community where they were trusted they were always blamed for making crimes, thefts, and dacoities. So the children of that particular community, they are since they don't have any shelter and
Of
educational
course.
opportunities, they are forced to do the criminal activities, theft and dacoity. So very small kids, they are used. And as you know, in Indian legal system, by in the JJ Act, now if any child below 18 years commits a major crime, the biggest punishment is staying in a shelter home till the age of 18. You
Hmm.
can't impose any law, or you cannot treat them like a major criminal above 18 years of the age. So the tendency or the trend is using the minor children for the major crimes. Even in drug peddling, even in the narcotic peddling, the children are used in a big number. For begging, there are organized criminal gangs using kids for begging in all big urban cities. At every signal, you will find the crowd of children, and they are brought
Yes.
from some parts of India and they are used for the begging. So there is a child prostitution also in major cities. If you go to the red light areas and see, you can find many minors. And if apparently they will not look minor because they were given hormone injections and their
Okay.
body has become bigger. So you will feel that the girl is a major who is standing there for the prostitution, but she is actually a minor. And these organized gangs have made some medicinal experiments on the like hormone injections, and they made her bigger. She looks bigger. So there are use of minors. So the situation is worsening, and the civil society is not enough sensitive about their role in the protection of child rights. And everyone is now expecting that police and very small number of NGOs are there actively working, so they will play a big role and they will face the situation. So this is not the situation. Our population is very big, problem is very complex, and hence the children are suffering a lot nowadays.
You mentioned about NGOs have their limitations in terms of the resources. So what kind of, do you get enough support from the government?
The thing is, there is a problem of resources, yes. You have trust donors, so we can solve that problem. The bigger problem is of uh, with the working with legal machinery. So in Indian law there is a act called no CRPC.
Hmm.
So CRPC is a police procedure act for every state. So in CRPC, only police constable can detain a criminal or a person for any kind of inquiry. Even that authority is not with the prime minister or the president of India. They can't detain a person, but only constable can detain. And the whole police machinery is spending 90% time in a bandobast, in a form like the presently the elections are going on. So no one is bothering what's happening with the children or with the women. So they have to spend more time on the formal duties, which is not they don't have time to pay attention towards these serious crimes against the children, against the women, and they neglect it because the police machinery, is functioning on the orders of the authorities. They are not bound
Sure.
by the laws, though there are laws, but they always listen the order of the superior authority. They never bother what the law says, what is their
Of course.
fundamental duty in the CRPC or in the IPC. So that is the structure of our government system. And I think that's why there are juvenile aid police unit in the under the JJ Act. But you will find in 90% districts in India, they are just on paper. If you ask them in the under the Right to Information Act, is there any JAPU, juvenile aid police unit in the district? Then they will say, oh yes, it is there, but it's all on paper. Actually, if you ask that concerned police officers, are you a part of JAPU? He say, I don't know what is JAPU. So it is like that. The only the skeletal is there, but there is no soul in that. So this is the main problem: how to make them binding the police machinery to act on the law when we approach to them with a complaint. And see, we get a very little time. If the trafficked victim is there, we have little time to save it, but they don't
Sure.
have time. They say, come tomorrow, come day after tomorrow, we have a lot of other duties. So this is not the priority, and that is a problem. And the responsibility is not fixed. If the child is complaint is neglected and if the child is victimized, so no one takes the ultimate responsibility, and that's a challenge. That responsibility is not fixed.
Okay, so you mentioned about children who come with a criminal intent. Okay, like because of that they are sent to NGOs for their rehabilitations and stuff. So my question to you is like how do you handle such kind of children? You take them as a victim, or like you take them as they're some kind of a criminal. Okay, they have committed certain
Yeah.
crimes and that's the
So
reason they are here. So how
yeah,
different it is?
it is difficult. So now we have changed the terminology because of JJ Act. No, it has changed. So we never call a child a criminal. We call him
Okay,
or her a child in conflict with law.
okay,
So we also face these kind of cases of children who are in conflict with law, and also we handle the cases where the children who needs care and protection. So the in the cases of care and protection, we have to approach the child welfare committee constituted under the JJ Act. And for this children in conflict with law, we have to approach Juvenile Justice Board JJB, where the senior judge is there and two voluntary members. They are working with him and they deal with the cases. So we have to approach both the agencies JJB and CWC for the further rehabilitation and protection of the kids. So in the cases of child brides, child prostitution, when there is a raid or a child labor, or there is a domestic child labors, they are brought from Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh, Bengal, and the rest of the India where they are used as a child labor or domestic labor. So there are we have to rescue them with the help of police, with the help of DCPU. They are under the service of child welfare department, and they have now the responsibility to play in such type of cases. And we have to approach to child welfare committee. We have to obtain the orders of the CWC to bring them into the institution. So institutions like ours, Snehalaya, we keep them shelter. We provide them psychotherapy, psychological counseling,
sure,
legal support, and many a times we have to work with their family, because in the cases of child marriages, the family is also booked because for organizing a marriage of a child. So in such cases we have to work with the family because family has its own problems, and we have to solve that problems also. Otherwise, when we give back child to the family, they again do the same. So we have to work with the families, we have to convince them. So always prevention is better than cure in the
true.
cases of child marriage and trafficking and sexual abuse, because once the child is involved in that, then it is very difficult. The problem becomes very complex. So we do preventive work mostly, and many a times we have to do cases also with the
Okay,
people involved in that. So in the JJB's cases where the children are brought there for rape, for abuse, for theft or dacoits involving in different kind of crimes like drug peddling and narcotic peddling and all. So in such cases, we have some limitations because these kids have they are kept in the government shelter homes where our counselors and our team goes there and helps them. The big challenge nowadays is, because of the POXO Act, Prevention of
mm,
Children from Sexual Offences Act. It was passed in 2012. And then after, any girl who is below age of 18 years and who is pregnant, then we have to book a case against the who made her pregnant. So many social communities, the puberty age is the age of the marriage. It is considered,
sure,
and they formally officially organize the marriage of their girl. And then if the girl is pregnant and if she approaches to a sonography center or a doctor, then it is his duty to immediately inform the police
inform them.
about the minor pregnancy. And in such cases, the case is registered under the POXO Act and IPC against the person who makes her pregnant. So in such cases, every time there is not a rape. Many times it's a rape, but every time not a rape. It's due to the natural affection, love. Some girls become pregnant, or it is official marriage organized by the both the families, and that then girl becomes a pregnant. But in such situations, the boy is booked or a person is booked. So many a times it is a natural instinct and girl becomes a pregnant, but the boy is booked. And in so we have to work with a child, and we have to tell them about the legal circumstances. So most of the time we more focus on the bringing awareness about the POXO Act, about the IPC, about the JJ Act, and bringing awareness among the all young boys, because they are booked if the some girl is become pregnant because of them. So
Sure.
this is the situation we do with them. And also we have to find some meaningful engagements, because after certain time or after the age completion of age of 18, they are released by the JJB, and then they become a part of the society. So when they go back to the society, there are challenges. If the child is with the connected with the organized criminal gangs or drug peddling, or some narcotic peddling, or then it is very difficult to stop him. Then we have to keep a continuous contact, psychological support, counseling, and we have to give him some support system where he can stay, learn, and he can get some purpose of life.
Sure.
Otherwise, after this releasing them from the JJB and children home, it is very difficult to protect them and preventing them from becoming a professional criminal. So it is always challenging to work with them, and we need a lot of support from police and other agencies also then after, because we have to take a watch, and we have to do a lot of prevention actions if child is again used by the gangs, because gangs are always searching these kids who have
Of course.
a habit, or who have some no changed habits of addictions and all that. So they always search, and we have to protect. So this is a always the chasing is going on between organized gangs and NGO workers.
Okay.
But yes, I think there are good experiments, and there are great examples we have with us, and we use these changed lives or survivors to make the aware of to the minor victims, and they play a good role in bringing awareness.
Okay, so you have spent so much of time in the industry, especially on the field, working on such cases. So we spoke about certain states also. So how is the India index looks like in terms of what you where from where which state you see this kind of crimes and this kind of victims you see more.
See, to honestly speaking, Maharashtra, Goa, Karnataka have the good systems. Gujarat, I have observed that there are good systems. The CWC is working, the JJB is functioning, the NGOs are in a good shape and very
Sure.
active, proactive. I mean to say proactive, and they do a lot of preventive work. But if you go to the northern states, then especially the Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand, and Bengal. So there a lot of cases are there, and there are no proper governmental systems. There are no JJB and CWC working properly, and they don't have
Okay.
machinery. At some places, people are very sensitive. The members are very sensitive, but they don't get the enough support by the lower machinery, which is supposed to follow their orders. So I think the big challenges are coming from these states. Like I just will share you some statistics.
Sure.
Like if you look at the adoption map of India, you will find that the 27% adoptions are done by Maharashtra only, and
Okay.
annually we have say 2,500 adoptions every year, and out of that 25-27% are doing only in Maharashtra. So there are orphan children, there are children who need home, family, and love and adoption. But in northern states, the number is very less. Like the UP is of no 12 crores, but if you compare with Maharashtra, Maharashtra is 12 crore population. But if you compare it with the two states, so half of adoption is done by UP than Maharashtra. How it is possible? It means there are a lot of illegal adoptions taking place,
Sure.
and that is there because there is no supervision of government police, government machinery, and NGOs in that. So the and also the civil society plays a good role, and I think in these states, southern states from Maharashtra and others, there is a good civil society taking care, aware of their role in child rights and child protection. So this makes a big challenge. So India is also, no, the situation is not the same everywhere. So the domestic child laborers are nowadays coming from Jharkhand and Chhattisgarh in a big number.
Okay.
So and there are agencies who provide them. So they are also providing major people, 18 plus, but also providing, no, minors, and there is no control on that. There no one is no there is no compulsion of registration of such agencies there.
Sure.
And then these kids, no, they are sexually abused, they are trafficked, so a lot of things happens with them once they come to the big city, and in search of money, and the family conditions are poor, then family sends them here. So I think this, especially the northern states and the Bengal, the situations are tough.
Okay. So let's just talk about Snehalaya. What is the core motto of Snehalaya? If you can tell us, our audience.
Yeah. So Snehalaya's core motive is to protect the child rights, to protect to give education to the children uh, who are in need of care and protection. And we have started our work now. Our focus is red light areas, the children who are born HIV positives, and the child prostitutes, the child mothers, the child brides. So these are the core areas where we operate. Also, we work in the slums, urban slums, and bring awareness about the child rights. And so this is the core, and also these migrant communities, uh, like uh, Vanjari that goes for the sugarcane cutting, and the
Okay.
communities like Fasepardi, they are nomadic tribe communities, and Kolati. So they are also, no, the tribes in danger, because a lot of trafficking is there of these communities. So we work with these communities, and the Jat Panchayat. Jat Panchayat is, no, their caste judicial system. So we also work with them, try to convince them, because these communities follow the orders of their caste judicial system. All this marriage and trafficking and all this is marriage especially, and divorce. They don't go to a formal court, but their caste court plays a big role. So we
Okay.
also try to work with them. And we have a shelter for about 300 children. We have a school, we have a hospital for HIV/AIDS positives. So for kids and for women and for all. Then we have a farm. We have vocational training centers for them. And though they are in mostly in Maharashtra, uh, in Ahmednagar district, but they are open to all. We have beneficiaries from all parts of India. There is no bar of no caste, creed, region, religion, language. It is open to all.
Okay. So can you share some successful initiatives that you have already conducted?
So we have many successful initiatives, but I would like to share you few of them.
Sure.
Udan is the project we have started during this Corona period. During Corona, because we are also handling the cases of child marriages before. From 2000, we are handling them, but we realized that we need a special force, task force, to work on child marriages. So we have started the project Udan, and Udan is exclusively working on child marriage. And the aim was given that by 2027, this Ahmednagar district, the population is about 55 lakhs, and it is geographically at the middle of the Maharashtra and touching the borders to Vidarbha, Marathwada, Konkan, all these geographical parts of Maharashtra, they are now connected to Ahmednagar district. So we will make this district free from child marriage by 2027. And
Okay.
you will happy to know that we have stopped about 400 child marriages during from 2020 to 2023
That's amazing.
December. So this is the great success story, and because of that, there are a lot of preventive work is going on. Now there are volunteer networks attached to us. There are the women self-help groups. They are supporting us for these child marriage cases. Then there is a network of ASHA workers and ICDS workers. So these all networks we have connected with us, and they are now the part of this mission. And because of this social pressure, the media is giving us good support. The government machinery is also responding. The Gram Sevak is a person no in every Gram Panchayat. He's a officer who coordinates the all local self government duties. So he is also a part of us. We have done a lot of awareness programs with them, and they gave us a good response. And we realized that if we see acknowledgement and is a big tool in government system. Lot of people do the good work, but later on they forget to do the good work and they behave like others. And because they they realize that there is no discrimination, the good people also treated the same and the bad people get the same salary, and no one blames them if they don't do any duty. So we realize that the acknowledgement is a good tool. So those who are working proactively in the stopping the child marriage, we honor them, we give them citation, we give them 1000 rupees prize, and we give them, we have our own radio station, 90.4 FM local channel. So
Sure.
it's a community radio station. So we take their interview. So this acknowledgement, no, the person suddenly transforms into a voluntary spirit and he works very dedicatedly for the cause. Once, so I think the acknowledgement and honor, so this plays a big role. And this Udan is become the very effective program in Maharashtra, and lot of districts people come to us and they work in our program, and they have started the similar program in their districts with different name. We want just to concept should be popular. We don't expect that we will work in every district. So our idea is to create such groups stopping the child marriage. So this is one. Secondly, there is a very successful work we have done in stopping the use of minors in flesh trade.
Sure.
So from 1995, I am telling you that we have done a lot of cases at that time under the ITPA, Immoral Trafficking Prevention Act. And there are minors in Ahmednagar district. There are 4,000 women in prostitution, but you will not find a single minor in that, because we have made more than 700 cases against the procurers, pimps, brothel keepers. So normally in Maharashtra there is a Bombay Police Act, and every state has its own police act. And here no police is always booking the women in prostitution for publicly standing on a public place soliciting, and they use this 117, 118. These are the provisions of Bombay Police Act, and they are for no standing on a public place soliciting like that. And they are not touching the brothel keepers, pimps, and procurers and the hotel owners giving the rooms for the prostitution. So first, in 1995, we have raised the voice and we said stop this use of Bombay Police Act. Use ITPA, Immoral Trafficking Prevention Act, where there are serious punishments and there are all non-bailable offenses. And we have done a lot of things and created a pressure, and also now a lot of rescued many girls and many women from the brothels. So there are two big cases in 2006. One 14-year girl was rescued and one 15-year girl was rescued, and there are 22 people and in the first case and 17 people in the second case, and they were given double life imprisonment after
Okay.
almost 9 years of battle. And who are they? They are police officers, they are government officers, they are political bigwigs. And there was a big fight we have done with them, because they are also no blaming, making defamation of the
Okay.
institution, that we are blackmailing them, etc., etc., exposing the names of the victim and troubling their families. But we have supported them. So because of the double life imprisonment, and we fought till Supreme Court. So because of conviction, the people are now afraid of law. There are good laws, but people are not afraid of that because there is no conviction. Once conviction is there, people realize that law is there and they have to follow the law. So in Ahmednagar district, uh, there is no minor in the brothel. There are all minor free brothels, and we actually want that no woman should be forced to do the prostitution. But that's a
Sure.
later stage. Right now, no, you will find no minor girl in a brothel used for prostitution. And also there is one another method which we have learned, and then we are now popularizing it. All the women in prostitution are the members of the Snehalaya. And nowadays, Mrs. Jaya Jogdand is a chairperson of the Snehalaya. She is a She was in prostitution for 25 years. Now she is heading the organization. And what we have done is we have convinced the women in prostitution that don't allow a single minor in a place trade, because she will steal your customers. And
Sure.
the 14-year-old girl is there and the 35-year-old woman is standing there. So she will not give a single customer to a 35-year-old woman. All customers will go to 14, 15 years old girl. So you should be aware that these girls is a threat to your profession. So nowadays there is a, because the girls, the women, senior women, they are a part of Snehalaya, they immediately start shouting if the brothel keeper brings a minor girl in a brothel. So we call it
Okay.
a Nishant program, no end of the very unhealthy or troublesome nights. So that's a program. And we have our rescue team, rescue mission. And because of that, uh, the police also have to work on that, because of we have no keeping a contact with higher authorities also, because we know police can only listen of higher authorities. Even if you go with them with the constitution or CRPC or Bombay Police Act, they will never listen you. But then they listen their senior authorities. So we have learned the idea how to influence the lower police machinery. And using all these methods, Ahmednagar district is, brothels are free from minors. You will not find a single minor in the brothel. So I think these
Okay.
are very successful experiments. And for the child marriage, we have made lot of awareness to the people. And now the doctors, the NGOs, the police stations, even the families approach to us once they find that the girl in their family is
Okay.
below 18 years of the age. Yeah.
Okay. This is my last question to you. What would be your message to the general public in terms of
So my
the education?
See, my message to general public is, don't rely on only the laws and government machinery. Don't blame media and NGOs, but play a role of civil society, because there in our constitution there are the fundamental duties, 11 fundamental duties mentioned in our Indian constitution. And I request the people to go through it and to support, to help, to play the role of no witness, sponge, complainant. Whenever you find the child is abused, the child is begging, the child is troubled, the child is sexually harassed, you become a complainant and you become a witness. Don't wait and expect others to do it. Otherwise, these laws in the books, they will not protect any child.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Kulkarni. It was lovely talking to you. It was very insightful, and we are grateful that you could take out this time for us today and give us a complete insight on the current situation. I wish you all the best. Okay, and I hope you do continue doing this great work in future also. Okay, again, we'll connect with you maybe again in future and take this discussion forward. Thank you so
Thank you
much.
so much for inviting us and giving us the opportunity to talk to people in a large scale. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Lovely talking to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.